The Miz from MTV Real World. Come on.
Okay, so what? Oh, wait, by the way, I think we're live right now.
Okay.
Yo, welcome to In the Paint, the live stream YouTube show. We're on from 9 p.m. to, I guess, 10, unless we go into the overtime, which we probably will. My name is Rodney Jones. I'm your host / moderator. And, of course, I'm on the line with my man Chandler. And also joining me is Mr. Ryan Bear, professional golfer out there, world of Twitter, my brother. Gentlemen, thank you for joining me tonight.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it.
And I apologize to the Miz. Don't sue me for that comment.
I don't sue him. Ryan's a good guy. Ryan's a good guy. I'm waiting for the great Max 611. He's always late to his own show. This is ridiculous. This guy created this show, and you would think that he would be on the line with us right now. But you know, that's your boy Chandler, Max 611. Okay.
Well, he gotta get off the train, then he gotta walk. He got short legs, so
exactly, like being 5'2" or whatever he is.
I'm saying,
Well, you know what? we're gonna start this without him anyway, so that doesn't matter. Listen, we're gonna ride in the lane. Oh, look, he's actually here. How about that? What's up, Mac?
What's up? You was about to talk bad about me.
You missed it.
We was already doing that.
Man. We was already doing that, man. You late. You late to the party, dude. Come on.
See? But you know what? I ain't afraid of either one of you.
That's an outright lie. He is afraid. But anyway, we're gonna get into this real quick. Major League Baseball. We're gonna ride this lane for a hot minute.
Right.
Mac, you have brought something up about Barry Bonds.
Yes, sir.
If he had got inducted into the Hall of Fame, you said something to the effect, would it affect Hank Aaron's legacy?
Well, that's what the media
is
trying to push. And for me, I'm like, okay, Major League Baseball, y'all rode Barry Bonds, Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa, and everybody else who was smacking home runs. Y'all rode that.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all also, you allowed it. You allowed baseball players to partake in taking enhancing drugs to make themselves better players. So no, for me, and Hank Aaron is one of my heroes. He's one of my favorite baseball players. Hank Aaron's legacy isn't tainted because you let it be tainted if it is tainted, but it's not tainted.
Right.
He did his thing as a baseball player cleanly, but you allow Barry Bonds and others to use PEDs. So since you allowed it, Barry Bonds did what he was supposed to do. He was a great baseball player. He was a great baseball player before PEDs, and he was a great baseball player
with PEDs.
with PEDs. So that's your fault. And no, he should be in the Hall of Fame.
But it's the problem with that is he should have, like the rest of them, like McGwire. You realize the only people we talk about now are the ones that fought it and continue to say they didn't take it. Meanwhile, we forget about like Mike Mussina, Andy Pettit. McGwire admitted it. I believe him and Sammy are the only ones that still deny it. I think that's going to hurt him ultimately the most.
True.
I mean, does that affect his ability to hit a fastball, which is arguably one of the hardest, if not the hardest thing to do in sports? 800 feet and through my picture window in the living room? No. But it's kind of like a double-edged sword. You allowed him to do it, and then you change the rule, and now you're going to screw him for it.
Yeah.
It's kind of, I can go on and on about that. So I hear you, because there's a lot more guys that just didn't make it that took those things. I mean, Jose Canseco just got mad because he, couldn't keep playing at that level, so he wrote a book and got rich.
Right.
But, and speaking of that, have you seen Sammy lately? He's getting, like, lip implants.
He's
lighter than you, right?
Yeah,
I know. I'm pretty white.
Right. Yeah, that guy, he's a mess with that, man. He's like, I think the funniest thing I seen about him was the whole how he was like a a human version of like the Neapolitan ice cream. You know, because you had the vanilla, you had the strawberry, you had the chocolate. You know what I'm saying? I thought that was hilarious. You know what I'm saying? But
his thing on ESPN when they were like, I think Buster, no, it wasn't Buster, whatever that guy's name, when he walked out of the interview and came back, and he's like, well, I'm pretty sure the sun, yes, it affects it, but it doesn't make you that shade whiter when you're not in the sun all day.
Right.
He grew up in Puerto Rico or Dominican or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm pretty sure he was in the sun then. I don't know.
When he first came in the league, he was dark as I am, maybe a little lighter, but about my complexion, and he had braids. So
now he's got like a perm.
I have a question.
Surely,
what is whether he bleaches his skin or not have to do with him playing baseball?
Nothing,
because that seems to be in some twisted way they're making that a reason to justify not having him in the Hall of Fame. I don't give a damn about his self-hatred. Okay,
I agree.
I don't care, what skin color he wants to be. What does that have to do with what he did on the baseball field? Absolutely nothing.
Okay,
absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
Right. And Rob Parker said something the other day. I didn't listen. Actually, Rob Parker's a really good dude. You to meet Rob, you would love him. He's a great guy.
Really?
But
no.
Yeah, Rob Parker's a really, really good guy. But he plays a role on TV. That's not who he really is. Trust me. Rob's a really good dude, really smart guy. But of the 7 MVPs that Barry won, you could say that 4 of them were during the period when everybody was claiming they knew he was using PEDs, right?
Right.
Who votes on the MVP awards?
Everyone.
The baseball writers, right?
Yep.
A ton of people.
Who votes for the Hall of Fame? Baseball
writers.
Right.
So you were giving him awards during the period when you were still talking about he was still terrible to the media because he hated the media for the way they treated his father. So he was always nasty to the media. He was a prickly personality. And those are all facts. So you were still giving him awards, MVP, so on and so forth. When you knew that he was using PEDs. So if you were going to hold it against him, why didn't you hold it against him then?
Baseball was dying.
But now you wait.
Thing probably.
Right, but now you wait, and then you try to say, but all those MVPs you won, they're not valid. You voted on them.
Right. Right.
I think it's like in the major leagues we're talking about, like they're looking for, because baseball they're trying to keep it that like the young Bryce Harpers and the personalities. I think they're trying not to. I mean, you got to put the guy in eventually. I think they will, but I think the bad publicity and they just don't feel like dealing with the guy he took it right in front of Congress, blatantly lied. Well, they can't prove it yet, but it's clear. I just think the bad publicity they're trying to stay away from. And even though, like you are the old school baseball writers that gave him those awards because he used PEDs better and he was just better than anyone else. Imagine the guys that are in the league that used them that ended up out of the league. Imagine how they feel. They just weren't good enough.
Right.
No, I would have done them.
Listen, and there's a lot of guys who got caught, keep getting caught. Guys who you saw have like maybe 1 month of really great play and this, that, and the third, and you never heard from them again. I always go back to Brady Anderson.
Yep.
Brady Anderson is the epitome of somebody who wasn't good, took PEDs, had 1 good season of home runs, and basically tore every muscle in his body the rest of his career.
Yep.
So, it's nonsense what they're doing.
He got a bad badge.
And you know what? What I want to see, because David Ortiz was in that same report that Barry was. He's in the same report.
A lot, yeah. There's a lot.
But sure, it's too liquid.
I refuse to believe that Big Papi, who's the man, even though he shattered my heart with against the Cardinals when Beltran broke his rib falling over the wall. He's still one of them. He's like watching Shaq and Barkley go at it. He's a wonderful announcer. He's hilarious.
Yeah. Okay, but he still went from a guy who, when he was in Minnesota, weighed about 60 pounds. And if people forget, he got released by the Minnesota Twins because he had no power. He got to Boston and turned into Superman.
And he barely even hit the field other than batting. So that's double Superman.
You know, but let's keep talking about Barry Bonds though. You know
yeah, right. right, man. I don't know, man. These writers they're just fraudulent, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. There's not one of them that I can trust. I couldn't throw them. You know what I'm saying? I just couldn't throw them at all. You know what I'm saying? It's just that same BS narrative. One way or the other, that's what you're going to get is a bunch of BS. That's what it boils down to, at least in my eyes. You understand? Why this man isn't in the Hall of Fame is a crime already. He belongs there, period. End of story.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is. I mean, I just don't get this. You know what I'm saying? And just like Chandler said, you don't have no problem giving him an MVP, 7 of them, as a matter of fact, but you won't give him the votes to put him in the Hall. What's the deal?
The whole Hall of Fame vote process in baseball and hockey, in every league is ridiculous, except for the NBA. In the NBA, pretty much everybody gets in the damn Hall of Fame. Okay?
Right.
I'm going in the Hall of Fame. I didn't even suit up yet.
But like, look how long. Listen, look how long it took Ken Stabler to get in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? You got. I think Paul Tagliabue is still not in the Hall of Fame. You can like him or dislike him, but Paul Tagliabue deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Tom Flores should have been in the Hall of Fame. He's not in the Hall of Fame. Don Coryell is not in the Hall of Fame, but Chris Carter's in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
Think about that. And that's all about personality. These writers and their grudges that they hold. It's ridiculous because you're already cheapening these Halls of Fames by putting guys like Mike Messina in. Listen, Mike Messina, had he stayed in Baltimore, no one except his family and Orioles fans would know he played baseball.
Wow.
Okay?
Jesus Christ.
Do they still have a team? Because I think they do, but
well, Manny left, so
he averaged 11 wins a year, and they put him in the Hall of Fame.
I mean,
wow,
he was nicknamed the Moose. Like everyone that's nicknamed the Moose gets in. Like Daryl Johns for the Cowboys, the Moose, he's in.
Right.
I mean, I'm
not that's hilarious, man.
I cheated a little bit here and I looked it up. The fact that he averaged a home run between 2000 and 2004 every 6.5 at bats is put him in for that. I mean, that's just every 6.5 at bats.
Yeah, right.
If you fail at getting a hit 7 out of 10 times and bat 300, you're a Hall of Famer. He hit a home run every 6.5. Right? Good man in.
I mean, Roy Halladay got in the Hall of Fame because he died.
Okay.
Right. That's different. Exactly.
Okay. No, it's not. That's not okay. Listen, I get it. He was a nice guy. I'm sorry the man's dead. He don't deserve to be in the Hall of Fame.
You're not sorry he's dead. That was the shot. Right?
Well, listen, he was being stupid in an aircraft. So I don't have any sympathy when you're stupid in an aircraft. I really don't. I worked on aircraft for a lot of years. I don't have sympathy for people that get in an aircraft and want to be stupid.
Damn,
I really don't.
What did he do? I thought it just went down.
No, he was flying below limits. He wasn't rated for the limits he was flying at. He was basically up there being a hot dog. He was hot dog in the aircraft, and he died as a result of it.
And you clearly are not. You don't have problems.
Say again.
When you read the article that his plane went down, did you laugh?
No. Once
he didn't laugh.
Once I found out what happened, I was upset because again, having worked on aircraft, had some stick time in aircraft, I take that very seriously, and it pisses me off when people don't take that seriously.
Right.
It pisses me off. Because that's not a game up there. That's not something. Oh, I'm rich. Let me go buy me an aircraft and fly around. Because he could have killed people. Okay, he was endangering other people besides himself. So I have a problem with that, and I always will. You know, if you get behind the wheel of something, behind the stick of something that has an engine and has tons to its weight, and you want to be an asshole, then you deserve what you get. I ain't gonna feel bad for you.
Also, and let me just add this. Let me just add this, Ryan, real quick, if you don't mind. Also, in the chat room, our brother Ronan, he said, unfortunately, he was also high as hell, mixing medications. So you can, you know, if you combine that, yeah, I can understand where your anger is coming from.
It was like the scene in Wolf of Wall Street when he was trying to land the helicopter, real high and drunk. And
that's not, you know, that's nothing to play with, man. Because just like my man said, you know, you risking other people's lives and whatnot, not just your own. So
John F. Kennedy Jr. is dead because he was flying under what they call IFR rules, which is instrument flight rules, when he was only rated for VFR, which is visual flight rules, which means you have to be able to see a mile. You have to be able to see a mile to the horizon. He was flying in cloudy weather. He couldn't see not 1,000 feet in front of him. He shouldn't have been in the damn airplane.
Just like what's the guy on the Yankees that flew into the building here in New York?
Damn, what's that guy's name?
Oh yeah,
forgot his name. Damn,
yeah.
But he also is an 8-time All-Star, won the Cy Young twice, and had several thousand strikeouts in 203 and 105.
Then, okay, eventually he would have gotten in. He's not a first ballot Hall of Fame.
All right, then he actually was.
He wasn't the first. At 200 wins, he's not a first ballot Hall of Fame.
Well, I mean, my thing is this, guys. You know, how many career wins he have again?
203.
That's not enough for a first ballot Hall of Fame. First of all, the magic number for pitchers is 300, but we all know it's going to be 250 when all is said and done with the way they're screwing this around with pitchers.
I could agree with that pretty much. But
I mean, he was on the Blue Jays and then the Phillies. God rest his soul. An 8-time All-Star in a 15-year career, two-time Cy Young winner.
Okay, so he was a really, really good pitcher. That's not Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame for me is supposed to be for transcendent, for the gods of the sport. Roy Halladay is not one of those.
You really do.
Well, you know what, guys? Like I said, my thing is simply, he had 203 career wins. You said 15-year career or 15-year span?
15-year career for the pond scum of the league. I mean, God rest his soul. He had to play for the Blue Jays and the Phillies.
I understand. I understand what you're saying. That's true. They weren't exactly the top franchises in Major League Baseball. I understand that, and that is a thing. You know what I'm saying? He had talent, obviously. You know, to get those wins with subpar teams. I mean, he's a very good pitcher. You understand what I'm saying? But if we're sticking by the standard, you know what I'm saying? You look at guys that get the 300 wins, they're automatically in. You understand? Yep. You can get the guys that's maybe 270, 250. Maybe with a couple more years, he would have got close to 250, or maybe even more. A little bit more than 250. Maybe that would have qualified. You know what I'm saying? Maybe.
If he didn't fly high.
I put it like this. Don Sutton hung around, and pitched for everybody so he could get to 300 so he could be assured of going in the Hall of Fame.
And he was average.
And that's true.
Was average.
Now, but my point is this: Don Sutton, when you look at the status of their careers, has far more status in his career than Roy Halladay. Okay, Don Sutton. People know who Don Sutton. You say name Don. Oh yeah, Don Sutton. That was that guy who was a pitcher. They can't tell you what teams he pitched for. They know who was a pitcher. Okay, he had to hang around to get 300 because he wasn't sure he could get in the Hall of Fame.
Wow.
Okay, but there's no way you can tell me that Roy Halladay, who at Don Sutton's prime, I'd take him over Halladay. I'd take him over Halladay. Don Sutton
was good early, and he was really good early in his career, and then he became sort of mediocre, towards the middle end of his career.
Right.
I mean, there's only 6 people that have won the Cy Young in both leagues. That's something to be said for.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's true.
I think Halladay would have gotten in. I'm not saying he wouldn't have gotten in. They would have voted him in. That I do know. Now, I wouldn't have, but I know he would have gotten in. My problem is him getting in on the first ballot.
And flying that plane.
Well, yeah, that too. Because honestly, if he doesn't die, he's not getting it on first ballot.
I could agree with that. I have to agree with that.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? And I like Roy Halladay. Trust me, I do like him. You know, not against the Yankees that much, but I do like. You know, I thought it was a pretty great pitcher actually. You know,
and this is a guy who had to go down to the minor leagues and basically overhaul his entire pitching motion. People forget about the fact that he got sent all the way back down to A ball. Okay. And this was not early in his career. This is like maybe 7-8 years into his career. People forget about that. I haven't. So when I take all of that into account, he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Okay. Well, with that being said, let's do a little move on real quick in Major League Baseball. Let's talk about the New York Mets and their. Yeah, I know.
No, I like what they're doing.
You do? Well, let me introduce the story first, my man. The thing is, they're claiming they're not going to be interested in either Manny Machado or Bryce Harper. Simply the fact because $1 million player in Yoenis Cespedes. What do you guys think about that?
They're stupid. Typical Mets being cheap and one-sided and only spending. They always spend for one player and don't really add to that player, you know, and then they end up with the product they have on the field. But I like some of the moves they made, but not going after Bryce Harper or Manny Machado is a sin.
Are you positive though they're not one of like the 6 mystery teams? I think Bryce Harper is going to be a Ranger personally.
No, because the Mets are cheap, Ryan. They notoriously cheap.
Yeah,
I mean they spend money, but then they don't spend money. So they already spent their money. They made a lot of moves, and the moves they made, there's no room for them now.
I mean, I think I can't think of his name. The young GM. He's either going down as the next Theo Epstein, or he's going to be holding the flag next year at construction sites because out of a job. So he's going to be brilliant.
Ryan, he's a pretty good agent. Maybe he could be yours too.
Yeah,
he got Cespedes his contract,
and Cespedes. That he's showing up to spring training on horses, and then a Lambo the next day, and then a hover crab. Meanwhile, he can't. Can someone donate a hamstring to the guy? I mean,
right. But I think you know what though, gentlemen. They're just like Max said. They're cheap. You know what I'm saying? And you got a $30 million player already who shouldn't have been on this team in the first place. Dare I say? Because everybody knows about this guy's injury. You understand? And why are you signing somebody to this that has an injury to a $30 million a year contract? That makes no sense whatsoever. You understand?
Actually,
so how so? Please explain, sir.
The insurance. The insurance.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not paying that this year.
Okay. Yeah, they're not going to pay a large portion of his salary this year because of the insurance and because he's going to miss so many games.
Right.
The insurance is going to kick in. So that's money they're not spending.
He's writing it off.
Exactly.
Okay.
They got to give it to what's his name for the next 25 years every year.
Oh yeah. Bonilla, right?
yeah. Bobby's still getting $1 million a year from the Mets. Still getting. Go ahead, Bobby, my man.
The fur.
My man.
Exactly.
It did make sense from a baseball standpoint, but if you look at how the Mets do business,
right,
it made perfect sense. Just as the way that they would not release David Wright.
Oh, yeah, they would have gave him $100 million a year if he asked.
You know, because why? Because they were getting insurance to defray the cost of his contract. David Wright, they should have cut bait with David Wright 2 years ago. Okay, that would have been the best thing for him and for them.
Right.
But they held on to him. Why? Because they were getting money back. You know, the whole trade for Cano, them not saying that they don't want to spend money doesn't make sense because of the trade for Cano. You could have gotten Robinson Cano without giving up the prospects you gave up.
For sure.
Okay.
For sure.
If you would just now, if you say, well, I gave up the prospects for Diaz, then you didn't have to take Robinson Cano.
Mm.
Or if they were going to make you take Cano in order to get Diaz, then again, I go back to the same thing. You just take all the money. You don't have to give them those prospects. You then could have turned around and made some trades that they couldn't make. Why? Because they no longer have the prospects. Okay. They could have then made some trades. Got to catch it. They could have made that trade with Cleveland. Okay. To get a pitcher. There were some trades out there for the Mets to make where they wouldn't have had to spend money, but they would have been able to add talent had they managed their resources and their assets properly. The Robinson Cano deal was stupid on its face because you gave up A-plus prospects when you didn't have to. The Mariners were over a barrel. Jerry DiPoto was like, listen, if you will, I will give you Edwin Diaz if you take Robinson Cano. And if you take all of his contract, you can give me a bag of balls.
Well, the Mets didn't take all of his contract.
No, yeah, the Mets got him at a good price. I don't mind that trade. I mean, yes, he's coming off. He's 58 years old with coming off a drug suspension, but they also got $20 million for the next how many years, whatever it is, 8 or something. They get a future Hall of Famer for a fraction of the price.
Well, they're paying $100 million of the 120 left. So only got 20 million.
When you offset the Jay Bruce and the Anthony Swaza, whatever.
Right, Swarzak. Swarzak. But what I'm saying is, and that's all well and good, but you still could have done that without giving up those A-plus prospects. What I'm saying is you could have gotten Cano in that same deal. Maybe only gave up $10 million. You still would have gave up Jay Bruce. You still would have gave up Swarzak. So the offset was still there. You then would have had those assets to then flip in another trade to make your team better. Listen, they're depending upon Jeff McNeil. They're depending on Jeff McNeil to be some great player. Jeff McNeil ain't that damn good.
Yeah, but for $65 million, they get Robinson Cano for through 2023.
Yeah, they get a shell of Robinson Cano. A Robinson Cano who's limited defensively now, whose best position right now is first base.
But he's got that silky swing smooth, and he could. He looks like a little bit of Ken Griffey swag when he swings the bat.
Mm-hmm. That's great, but he's still only going to hit 270.
That's what Matt did that last year. That's like 4. That's like 4.
You're not winning the division with your best player hitting 270. And right now, if you look on the field, who's the best player on the Mets everyday lineup right now?
Me.
they ruined Michael Conforto. They've already screwed up Michael Conforto because they tried to turn him into a home run hitter when he was a gap to gap guy with power, and they should have left him alone.
Well, okay, I got something to say to that. Chili Davis is going to be the new hitting coach, and he's going to probably let Conforto be Conforto because that's what he was trying to do with his previous team, and they didn't like that. So
yeah, that's true.
I think he'll go back to being what he was before he got injured.
Okay. Now, if they let Chili coach the way he can, and we all know Chili Davis could hit, and he's a really good hitting coach. If they let him do it that way and they get away from this launch angle crap, then you know what? I'll take back everything I said because that lineup, if you let those guys be who they are as hitters, you know what I'm saying? Let Nimmo be a gap-to-gap guy with speed and power. Let Conforto be a gap-to-gap guy with power. You understand what I'm saying? Let Ahmed Rosario learn how to hit. Okay?
Right. Right. And I didn't mean to cut you off, Chandler.
That's okay. But, let Ahmed Rosario actually learn how to hit instead of him just going up there swinging from his damn heels. Then you have a good lineup now at that point. Because I've forgotten about the Chili Davis thing. Thank you. I've forgotten all about Chili.
But you're talking like the Mets. 2 points here is you got to look at. I mean, are the Mets win right now? Absolutely not. The local AA team in town is more ready. But I cheated and I looked this up. But they only have $58 million committed to the payroll in 2020. In 2021 and beyond, they literally, besides what the breakdown for Cano is, they will be at literally $0 committed, which is where it could be brilliant. That is, that's a big. You might be crying up until then, but
no, not their pitchers got to get paid.
Yeah, they do, but they also that pitching coach that got fired that just made him pitch through injuries ruined what I mean. They could have been valuable. Get rid of. He's gone, but they. I mean, those who how many. Hell, all 5 pitchers in the rotation were on the DL for like a year and a half, and then they bring him back and they're still injured. And I mean, they should have. I mean, they're gonna have to. Once Syndergaard or Conforto or Steven Matz and those guys hit arbitration, well, that's going to get expensive. But DeGrom, they should be moving these guys if they want prospects and they want to build.
Yeah, that's the whole thing, though.
It's the Mets.
I'm sorry, go ahead, man.
It's the Mets. They're not gonna move. They're not gonna move Syndergaard or DeGrom. I guarantee it.
And that's stupid because. And again, DeGrom should have been moved last year while his value was the highest. He's going into his age 30 season. He's going into his age 30 season. You're not going to get as much for him, and no one's going to give him the money he thinks he's going to get in the free agent market. Because guess what? You're 30 now. When you hit 30, we don't care what your name is. Look at you, Darvish. Okay, yeah, he got that money. How'd that work out? You think somebody was going to pay DeGrom, and he has a history of arm injury, as it is? Steven Matz, history of arm injury. So either the Mets are going to overpay these guys or they're going to trade them for pennies on the dollar when you could have gotten way more had you done it this past season. DeGrom should have been moved already.
They should move them both right now because you know who will pay them is arbitration.
Yep.
They will get paid.
Well, DeGrom got paid, I believe. And so did and Syndergaard's coming up.
When your nickname's Thor, you're getting paid.
Yeah.
Thor needs to learn how to pitch and not be a thrower and not think.
That's what he's doing.
And stop looking at that damn radar gun.
Yeah, you can throw. Those guys can time up a bullet. If you leave it at 130 over the plate, it's going to go really, really far over the fence.
Well, that was part of Dave Island. It was Island, right? This past season.
I don't remember.
I thought it was Wathan. Wasn't it Dan Wathan?
No, they got rid of him. I thought they brought in Island.
It's a former Yankee.
It was Dave Island.
Coach.
It was Dave Island. Coach. Dave Island's trash.
Okay.
Dave Island was trash with the Yankees. That's if you remember when the Yankees had a lot of relievers having arm injuries because everybody's out there trying to throw. That was when Dellin Betances could never get it together when Dave Island was there. That was when Jabba Chamberlain couldn't get it together when Dave Island was there.
What? Where? Did you say Betances?
Yeah, that was the period when they were talking about Dellin Betances was a bust. That was when Dave Island was the pitching coach.
Yeah. You might hate that guy more than Holiday.
Listen, Dave Island ruined Jabba Chamberlain. He almost ruined Dellin Betances' career. Manny Banuelos, he wound up screwing him up, so the Yankees wound up trading him. There were a lot of young arms. Phil Hughes. Hughes is a direct result of Dave Island.
Meanwhile, you got Bartolo Colon leaves the Mets and almost becomes an all-star.
Yeah, it's Dave Island. Dave Island is the pitching coach.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. Man.
Listen,
well,
Robinson Cano will give him some shit and tell him how not to get caught, and they'll be
good. Well, I'm going to move the needle here. I'm going to go in the lane of the NBA. Let's talk about our favorite basketball team here in New York, the New York Knicks, and their dysfunction.
Hey, Tim Hardaway Jr. is my boy. You stop that.
Oh, my God.
Tim Hardaway is an idiot.
No,
THJ is a Nimrod.
Hey, you don't have to make shots, but people to go to New York because they know they will pay you for nothing.
Listen, Ryan, you must be golfing buddies with Tim Hardaway Jr. because listen, man, there's no way let me tell you something.
I didn't.
This guy
did he get paid?
Yeah, unfortunately, he got paid.
Well,
unfortunately.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I didn't say he was going to make shots, but he got himself paid.
He's right. He's right, you know.
Okay, but I'm just saying the whole.
I think the higher ups for the Mets and the Knicks just go to happy hour and just to throw darts, and they're like, "Let's pay him now." All right, you landed on him. Let's get him. Pay him.
Wait, did you say the Knicks and the Nets?
Did you say both? He said Knicks and Mets. He said Knicks and Mets. Clean out your ears.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
They just meet up.
Take the Nets
away
from that equation. Stop.
He didn't say Nets.
No,
he said
stop.
Mets.
It's all Knicks.
Mets.
Oh, I
M.
thought
He
you
said
M.
Mets.
I'm sorry.
Clean your ears.
They're clean, fool. Shut up. I know you ain't talking.
It's
okay?
like when you get real hammered when you're younger. Not that I've done it, and like you go through your phone.
Yes,
you're
you
like,
have.
I'm gonna hit her up, see if she'll come over. Well, that's what they do when they give players money. They're like, I landed a Hardaway, whatever, we'll pay.
You don't have to even be hammered when you do that. Just hit her up. Yeah, you ain't doing nothing. But yeah, Tim Hardaway Jr.
He's a Michigan man.
He's wilding out. But
He's
I can
right.
understand him being a little mad at Alonzo Trier, but he is on the trading block right now. Tim Hardaway Jr.
Good. I'm sorry. What? Okay, hold on for a second. What did he do exactly the first time he was here?
So he shot 20. He shot 20% his last year.
Okay,
he shot somewhere in the 20s.
No, I'm talking about when he first. Hold on, when he first got drafted.
Oh, he averaged 10 points. He averaged 10 points and shot 20% at all levels from his. We got archives of what he did.
Mm-hmm.
He was part of the Brick Brothers.
You understand? That's why I'm like, what justified him getting that contract from the New York organization anyway?
Oh, Steve Mills and his lunacy.
That's it. Okay.
And also, listen, the Knicks needed to bring a big name in transitioning from Carmelo. So
and that's a big name. And that's a big name.
Let me finish.
They gave Enes Kanter $20 million.
Right, but let me finish. The biggest name they could bring back was Tim Hardaway because Knicks fans in their lunacy, they nutted on themselves. Look, we traded away Tim Hardaway Jr. He getting 16, 17 points for Atlanta off their bench. So you bring him back, and he is what he is. He's really somebody's third best scorer in their rotation. He's not really a starter, but he's here right now getting his buckets because they're playing him 35 minutes, and he's got the green light. So he's going to average 19 points.
Meanwhile, I think Enes Kanter is wanted, has a warrant out in whatever country it is for his arrest. But
yeah,
Turkey, yeah. Didn't they hold him captive there, like for a little bit?
They held up his visa.
Yeah. All right. First of all, don't give your dog Brussels sprouts because they will fart you out of the damn house. Good God, this girl. Oh my God,
that's your fault.
They loud ones. It's not quiet ones.
That's your fault, dog owner.
You fed your dog Brussels sprouts?
Yeah, I gotta listen. I eat healthy. She eat healthy. So if I'm eating Brussels sprouts, she's eating Brussels sprouts.
That's like when I watched Joe Rogan stand up and he's talking about vegan people giving vegan food to their cat. Like they're animals, man.
Hey, she had some meat too. She had lamb chop. Gotta have some greens.
You had some lamb. You had lamb chop.
Yeah.
Listen, let's get back to basketball.
All right.
Yeah, get back to lamb chops and Brussels sprouts. You're making me hungry.
Hell yeah, exactly.
You know, everybody see. I keep hearing that the Knicks are developing. You have David Fizdale, who claims the only way to get better is to lose, and he's building a winning culture. Now, in a winning culture, a veteran player who blew the assignment. By the way, Tim Hardaway was supposed to switch on that play with Eric Gordon. They had switched that play all night. They switched it all night. Now, someone said to me, okay, but Hardaway was guarding Harden. So a veteran player, which Alonzo Trier isn't, would have said, you know what? Stick with him. This time we're not switching. I'm going to fight over the top of the screen and bother Gordon's shot because we don't want to give Harden an open look. Okay? Trier's not a veteran player. He's a rookie. So he expected them to switch like they always did.
Nobody talked also.
Exactly.
Talk on the floor.
This is true. But what a veteran player in a culture where you're developing winning habits would have said to the media immediately afterwards was, that's my fault.
Yep.
I blew the switch.
Right.
Now, what would have immediately happened for Alonzo Trier? It's kind of like when your significant other, when something happens, a bill don't get paid, something gets messed up. When they say my fault, you immediately like, oh wow, she took, he, whoever it is, took the blame. No, that's not all on you. That's my fault too. Now you want to share the blame because you appreciate the fact that they were willing to take the burden, right?
No.
As a teammate, when your teammate does that for you, what do you immediately do? No, it's not just him. I could have done this. I could have done that. What are you doing? You're teaching winning habits even though you lost. You're teaching a young player, listen, man, it doesn't matter whose fault it is. Sometimes you just got to take one for the team, and then we'll go in the locker room, we'll discuss it, but you never hang your teammate out to dry. That's developing a winning habit. That's developing a winning culture. Right. Instead, we got Trier saying, not my fault. We got Hardaway saying, I confess he did it. We have the head coach saying, well, the only reason I'm playing him is because I have to, because he's making so much money. I'm sorry. Where's this winning culture being developed at? You understand what I'm saying?
Can you do it with a bunch of losers?
You can develop winning habits in the midst of losing. Okay, right. Now and how you do that is you win. You try to win the games you're supposed to win. There were games the Knicks were supposed to have won and could have won this year that they
could have won last night, but
that the coaches
Frank got hurt.
Right, due to coaches' decisions, they didn't. And then you win a couple of games that you're not supposed to. Now, are you going to win 30 games? No, maybe they only win 20 some odd games, but you develop winning habits. It's in things that you do, little things, just like I just said with Hardaway and Trier. The coach putting in veteran players at winning moments to show the guys, okay, this is how you execute a winning play down the stretch. Whether it's successful or not, guys develop when, okay, this is what we're supposed to do. And if we keep doing it this way, it's going to turn our way. That's not what's happening here. What we have is we got the Lord of the Rings damn expedition run by morons. We don't have a Gandalf, okay? We got Fizdale the Grey leading the damn expedition. Okay, we got Merry and Pippin, which is freaking Trier and Hardaway sniping at each other. Okay, and it's all overseen not by Sauron but by Moron Mills. Okay?
You know who should be overseeing it? Right. Gary Vaynerchuk.
Say again?
Oh, you faded out. You faded out, Ryan.
Gary Vaynerchuk. You know who that is?
Nah, who's that?
Look him up. Gary V. He's a giant. He wants to buy the. He was basically like the silent investor behind like Uber and everything. He took himself from nothing to be worth 160 million. He wants to buy. He said he's going to buy the Jets eventually. He runs Vayner Media out of New York City.
Okay.
He's like he's no longer a Yankees fan, and he's no longer a Rangers fan because they both gave him championships. He likes the come up. They should just hire that man.
Well, they should hire me.
But when you, but I really think the Mets GMs and the Knicks GMs just get hammered and they just pay people.
Yeah, and now you got Anthony Davis says he wants to be traded from New Orleans.
Oh, he ain't going to the Knicks. The
reason that he wants to be traded is because he doesn't see long-term success, so he won't sign an extension. Right now, he has, I think, 2 years left on his deal, but he can sign an extension this offseason. He's already told him, I'm not signing an extension. You may as well trade me, okay? Otherwise, I'm going to play out the rest of his contract.
They got him for 1 more year, Chandler.
1 more year. Okay, so 1 more year.
2020.
Okay. So, now everybody says, the Knicks are trying to trade for him. Why would you trade for a guy who's in a better situation than he would be coming to you, mind you? And he told them he's not signing an extension. But let's go ahead and trade. And it's not like you're giving away these great players, but go ahead and give away 3/4 of the team for a guy who's going to walk in a year.
Knicks fans nutted.
Do you think
AD?
Do you think he's going to go to the Knicks? Do you think there's a chance? Because I might get off this right now.
No, he could be traded to the Knicks. Yes, it's a trade. It's not up to him where he gets traded. It's not up to him where he gets traded.
Well,
it's not up to him.
Unless he has a clause in his contract.
No, he doesn't.
A trade clause.
He doesn't have no trade clause.
Oh, well.
Anywhere they want.
He could also do what Rob Gronkowski said when they thought about trading the Bears and say, I'd rather I don't want to go be a loser again and I'll retire.
Yeah, but hold on.
He's 25.
Hold on a second. Hold on for a second. Why in the world, unless they're really that fucking stupid, but why in the world would New Orleans want to take KP and other pieces?
Well, let's not even get into the ridiculousness of that. I'm just saying, why, if you're the Knicks, why are you even picking up the phone to try to trade for him?
Well, that's my question. Calls. They just are. They're probably. They just want someone to call and be like, "Oh, maybe we do have some interest here."
If you're the Knicks, why in the hell would you even make that call? Because he already told New Orleans once again, which is in a better position than you, he ain't staying there because they're not winning enough. So yeah, go ahead and trade KP. Because here's where the trade has to start. Porzingis, Knox,
Hardaway,
Trier. No, they don't want. Nobody wants Hardaway Jr. Hardaway Jr.
You got to take his money back. You got to take his money back. To match AD's.
Well, then you throw in Courtney Lee or Enes Kanter.
Right.
Remember, they make big money too. New Orleans, I'm telling you, New Orleans ain't taking Tim Hardaway. All right, they're not taking Tim Hardaway.
The two highest played players on your team are mid-level. Well, I mean, Hardaway's an all-star in my book, but you got the two highest players. The two highest paid guys on your team are Kanter and Hardaway.
Right.
After that, you got
then Courtney Lee.
Yeah, and Courtney Lee.
You don't exactly have too much to offer here.
Exactly.
They don't have leverage, and they don't have bargaining chips.
But they have
not big bargaining chips.
No
market.
But if New Orleans wants to screw Anthony Davis, then they send him to New York. Oh, you don't want to be here? We'll send you somewhere worse.
or maybe he thinks that KD really will come, and he's drawn in New York City, which is not uncommon because they're both big level. As bad as they both are, they still sell the place out.
There is no premier free agent coming to the New York Knicks just because it's New York.
Right. D Wade even said that. He said that in talking about Carmelo Anthony. He said, "Yo, I wouldn't come. Me and LeBron, we wasn't coming to New York because it's hard to play here, hard to deal with the press, and just that, and that's what it is for big name players. Carmelo, on the other hand, wanted to be here,
right?
Which I respect.
Now he just wants. Now he should just be in Tahiti right now, floating on a raft because he just got traded between like two GMs that were probably buddies, saying, "Hey, I need you owe me a favor," and he got traded and released before he even got on the plane.
Well, he wanted to be released.
Yeah,
that's because he made one of his last 45 shots. Like he hang it up, buddy.
No, that's not why. That's not
Houston isn't utilizing him to his strengths.
And he should have known, and he knew that before he went to Houston. Carmelo Anthony's situation is his fault. Yep. It's his damn fault. Yeah. I don't feel sorry for him.
You do.
He'll land with a team though at some point this year.
Boo!
I don't think he will, man. I don't think he will. Let's be honest. What team outside of Portland really could use him?
San Antonio.
But what teams could the teams that sign guys like that will be a bench player but are there for like a veteran leadership in the locker room? You know what I'm talking about? Like
he's not going to sign with a team like that.
Well, he might not have many choices because he's getting up there and he can't make a shot.
No, Carmelo Anthony actually can still play. He actually did well. He was very efficient in the use in with the opportunities he had, but he only had 7 shots a game in Houston.
But you can't miss them all like his last 2 games.
Ryan, you can't. He's not a 3-point shooter, so you can't stick him in the corner, and you can't.
True, that's what I'm going off of.
He's a mid-range scorer, low post guy,
right,
isolation guy off the dribble. Right. If you don't utilize him that way, it'll look like it looked in OKC, and it'll look like it looked in Houston. He can still play,
right.
Sometimes when you got $200 million in the bank, you can just hang it up.
James Harden, in scoring 61 points, went 5 for 20 from 3-point. 5 for 20.
He's going to the line 18 times a night, though.
Oh, and by the way, not one of his points was assisted. So when you talk about ISO heavy basketball and people kill Carmelo Anthony, well, he's ISO heavy. What the hell is James Harden?
Super ISO.
Right.
Hell, James Harden's beard has better chance of making a shot than Carmelo.
But Chandler, you know, even though he shoots horribly from the whatever, those when you look at his shot stats, he shot horribly from the three line, okay from the 2 line, but he went to the line 18
25 times. Yeah,
right.
I know.
That's his bread and butter.
Yep. But getting back to Anthony Davis, it's ridiculous if the Knicks trade for Anthony Davis. It's a stupid move on their part. Now for New Orleans, I don't know where they can trade him because, okay, listen, if I'm the Lakers, and I'm saying this not that these players are world beaters, but you can't gut your team for one guy.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You can't give up 5 guys for one guy because guess what?
Right.
Now you have no bench depth, and Anthony Davis doesn't make the Lakers better than the Golden State Warriors. He doesn't.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
You also got LeBron has gotten it done before with mid-level bums that he surrounds himself with that he likes.
Wait, hold on. You said mid-level bums.
I mean, it's like the amount of like little white slot wide receivers Tom Brady has made incredibly rich, and that like Danny Amendola he was on the Cowboys practice squad when they've been blowing it forever, like 10 years ago. Goes to New England, rich. Hell, what's his name? Wes Welker went to Miami, and now he's out of the league. I'm pretty sure.
Julian Edelman.
Edelman, yeah, I mean, he's 5 foot. I mean, he catches everything, but that ball is also stuck to his hands. Like LeBron can get dump Alonzo Ball because they can't even look at that shot. They don't like him. Brandon Ingram, they'd have to give up. Probably Pope.
No, they're talking Kyle Kuzma, Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball, and the kid Zubac. Zubac's the kid can play. That kid has game. All right.
All of those people can play.
Exactly. And that's my point, is you're gutting the team. And listen, when LeBron was winning championships, he wasn't beating he beat Golden State one time. The Golden State Warriors weren't who they are. You are not beating the Golden State Warriors with LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Because guess what? They still have 2 more guys who can get 30 than you do. Okay, if Anthony Davis and LeBron each get 40, that's 80. The Warriors have 4 guys who can get 30. That's 120. Last I checked, 120 beats 80 every day.
Draymond can get 20. Iguodala can get 20. And Livingston can get 15 or 20.
Yeah, I hadn't even counted them. I was just counting Clay, Steph, Boogie,
Durant,
and
KD.
Durant.
And KD. Yeah, I hadn't even got to freaking Draymond, Andre, you know what I'm saying, Livingston. I hadn't even gotten to them yet. So if the Lakers trade for Anthony Davis, who's going to be on the team?
And you still got Lance Stevenson. And Michael Beasley.
Yeah, okay.
Who?
Michael Beasley. Mellow
I know,
on the left side.
I know, I'm being funny.
Would you? I mean, but they also got LeBron. They got 2 mutants out there. And I mean, your math was correct, but you just assumed 30 against Megatron from the Transformers and LeBron.
Listen, DeMarcus Cousins will give Anthony Davis 30 any night.
He's from Michigan State. I hate that. I don't even want to talk about that guy.
Okay. DeMarcus Cousins will give him the business. Kevin Durant will match Anthony Davis shot for shot. You know, Steph Curry can match LeBron shot for shot. Klay Thompson can match him shot for shot. Where it comes down to is the bench. If you gut your team to get one guy, you don't get better.
Nah.
Well, you know what? It's a cosmetic effect. You get better enough to go to the playoffs and beat whoever's in the West, and then you get to the finals, and then it changes. But
or if you're the Knicks, you give up the number 1 overall pick if you get it, and tie in a bunch of other guys, You know what I mean? Like Hardaway, that number one overall pick, which would bring Zion there.
Right.
Knox and I don't know who else. I'm trying to think of guys that they don't. I mean, it's the Knicks. I don't educate myself highly on them, but
just call them what they are. The tax write-offs.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, that number one. You got to look at the guys in this draft coming up. That could be. I mean, you got Zion. You got 3 guys in top 5 from Duke that you arguably can go number 1. But I mean, that would bring Zion there.
But it doesn't make sense.
Hardaway's a gangster.
It doesn't make sense because once again, you're bringing in a player who's leaving a better situation and won't sign an extension there because they're not winning enough. So now you gut the team to bring him in. So he's surrounded with nobodies. You have him for a year. You've given up your first round draft pick. You're starting over again. And then he walks after a year because you have no long-term success.
Okay.
In what world does that make sense?
Hold on a second, Jay.
He's going to be a Laker. He hired LeBron's agent, and he's going to be a Laker. I mean,
hold on for a second. I see you, Dominic. You know, we all see you. You're welcome to the chat, brother. How you doing tonight?
Good. How y'all doing, guys?
All right, brother. Good. Yeah, it was a little messy there trying to get you in, man.
Yeah, I was trying on my iPad, but now I got it.
Okay, good man.
Thanks, guys.
No doubt, man. Glad you're here, brother. Yeah, we were just talking about the Knicks, also Anthony Davis situation in the NBA. So I know you have some stuff to talk about it. So thanks for joining us. Anytime you're ready, man. The floor is yours. You know.
Where we at, Anthony Davis?
Yeah, of course.
I have a long take on it, but I'll make it simple. If you could get a talent like that, you get it. But the problem's bigger than Anthony Davis and who gets him. It's the problem of what's become of the NBA now. People don't even hold their contractual obligations, say they want to go, and it does nothing for the league, guys. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news. I don't know if somebody said it, but it does nothing for the league because you got a team like New Orleans who has moved 2 times already. They have minimal talent, like 65% of the league. So if all the stars continue to keep doing what they're doing, the NBA might as well cut the teams to 20 because there's not going to be enough talent to go around the 30 teams. Right now, we only have probably 4 to 5 real contenders. Take away Golden State. So somebody tell me what this is doing for the league. I don't get it, guys. I'm a longtime basketball fan, but I don't see no good coming out of this. That's just me now.
Actually, if you take Golden State out, the league is competitive. If you take them out, but they are a superpower. They Thanos.
Right.
And everybody else is in the MCU. But Anthony Davis wanting to leave, I don't have a problem with.
I mean,
again, for me, like I said, I don't see a point in acquiring for the New York Knicks to acquire a guy who's already told a franchise that's in better shape than the Knicks that he's not going to stay there. So you mortgage what little future you have to get him, and then he's going to walk because you don't listen. We all know with Steve Mills in charge, there's no way in hell the Knicks are looking at any sort of sustained success, especially with what's going on with Fizdale. So it doesn't make sense for the Knicks to acquire him. And it's not like you're giving up great players, but you give away 2/3 of your team to get a guy for a year, and then you're starting over again.
I mean, do you think the fact that Davis said he prefers a first-class organization, which does that?
And he just it eliminates the Knicks. They not a first-class organization. They a third-rate organization.
They're like a third-world country organization.
I mean, they make money and they sell out, but the culture there is toxic. I would love to be in the locker room with some of the players who don't play for the Knicks, and when somebody mentions, "Hey, you want to go to the Knicks?" You bugging?
Yeah. Do you want to go to your ex-wife's in-laws for Christmas? What do you think? If this was different, if this was like the following year and they brought in up with the max contract that they'll be able to sign, if they could have interest, you think Durantula could head to New York?
No. All you have to do is look at how the Knicks treat veterans. Listen, the Knicks have treated Courtney Lee, and I'm no Courtney Lee fan. They've treated Courtney Lee like crap. Players notice this. They notice how you treat professional veterans that come to this organization, and they come here, and the Knicks destroy their career, they character assassinate them. Why would you come here if you're a premier free agent? You watched what they've done to a Courtney Lee guy. Guy who's been nothing but professional, conducted himself the right way. If you see what they do to them, you saw what they did to Carmelo Anthony. You saw, and listen, Carmelo Anthony is what he is as a player, but no one ever said this guy was a malcontent. No one ever called him some sort of locker room cancer. And suddenly he comes to the Knicks. You got the president of the team sniping at him in the papers. Why would you come here?
Yep.
Nightclubs.
Instagram models.
Yeah, Porzingis got caught sliding it. He's the only player that failed to slide in Instagram model DMs and then got exposed.
No, it's I don't know. It's ridiculous, and I get what Dom is saying too, in the sense that this is the NBA that David Stern wanted. This is the NBA that David Stern wanted. He wanted an NBA that was about a few players, not teams, and that was it. Right. And they got exactly what they started trying to get years ago. Because the NBA used to be about teams. It used to be about teams. Now it's about 5 guys. That's it.
Well, they started that when soon as Magic got in the league and Larry Bird, Dr. J, and then Michael Jordan comes in, and then so on, and it just kept evolving, and the ball is rolling down that hill. And for me now, I watch basketball games and I see guys. If I was coaching, I would take them out. If you got a layup, why are you not taking a layup and taking some 3, and then you missed the 3? You're gonna be sitting right next to me.
You got a guy to put in that can't make a layup or a 3. Hate to say you can put Trey Burke in, but he hasn't made a shot since he hit the shot against Kansas years ago to take him to the Final Four.
That's not true. Trey Burke actually played very well last year.
He's been playing good when he gets consistent minutes.
Yeah,
and he's cheap. Yeah, he's only making like $1 million.
Well, that team isn't going nowhere, man. That's just the bottom line. I don't even get involved in these conversations like that. I say what I gotta say real quick about this team, and it's just me repeating the same old mantra. You understand? So I mean, that's just the Knicks. They just raise your anxiety like the Cowboys. Yeah, I mean, I'm just like,
I'm relieved. I've been relieved of Once I saw what Phil Jackson was doing in the game plan, I don't get stressed over the Knicks. I laugh at Knicks fans though.
Exactly. Exactly.
I mean, you gotta love the hiring of a senile old man that was run out of Los Angeles.
Well, you know what? I'm not gonna lie to you. At first, I was caught out there too, but then I caught on. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's like that saying. At first, I was blind. Now I see. Yeah, because at first I was blind. I was out there when they hired him. I was right in front of the Garden.
Yep.
Me and Max.
We saw the game plan unfold.
Yeah.
The Knicks fans were livid. They were upset. They were protesting, but Knicks fans don't protest right. If you were gonna protest and you were upset,
do it the Philly way. Burn the city down.
Not just burn the city down. Just stop supporting the team.
Exactly. Simple.
They saw Phil Jackson name come across that billboard on 7th Ave and 33rd right in front of the Garden, and they started screaming and hollering. And it was happy time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh, he just hijacked the protest.
Right. Right. That was a move right there.
Nick fans, if I was the leader of that, we wouldn't. I'd have said, okay, you got Phil Jackson. We still not coming to any games. We still not gonna watch you on TV till we see some improvement. And
exactly.
Have they improved?
No.
In fact, they got worse.
They're kind of like the Browns, but less. But I mean, he'll send Ben Simmons, Michael Fultz, and one of the 800 first-round picks that the Sixers have. Speaking of that, let's give a shout out to Lauren, a law student that is listening right now. She's from Philly.
All right.
Yeah, she's taking time off from the books and learning how to bill at $200 an hour.
I heard that. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I heard that. I'm not even mad at that. Do your thing. Shout out to you.
Yeah, either that'll win me bonus points or she'll yell at me after this.
I think she's gonna go for the former. That'd be my guess.
But that actually wouldn't be bad.
But then again, we're talking about a female in basketball. Come on, how much do they really know?
Oh wow! What'd you say, Chandler?
I was thinking about the Philly thing that he just mentioned. That actually, Philly couldn't pull it off because they don't have the assets.
Dude, you don't think?
No, they don't have the assets to pull it off.
What, a trade for AD?
Yeah, they don't have the assets.
They got
they do.
Simmons, Fultz, Wilson Chandler, and one of the first-round picks.
First of all, nobody's taking Markelle Fultz right now.
Right, he ain't even playing.
Taking Markelle Fultz.
Listen,
I would not get rid of Ben Simmons simply because Ben Simmons is a stud. The fact that he hasn't figured out a jump shot yet doesn't change the fact that he's a walking triple-double.
He hasn't had a jump shot since LSU.
And it doesn't matter.
He's
a walking
and he doesn't need one.
Yeah, but
for me, he doesn't need a jump shot.
The brow has a lot, and the brow and Markelle Fultz. I mean, he'll maybe get it back either way. He's rich, but that the first round pick, they have a plethora of they have a first round pick till 2040.
It would work for Philly if they didn't have Jimmy Butler. I could see Anthony Davis.
You think they'll re-sign him?
I don't know if they resign Jimmy Butler. I personally wouldn't, but that's just me. I'm not a Jimmy Butler fan. I think Jimmy Butler's a moron.
All right, but
he is.
What do you think? Yeah, or did the Celtics send like Jason Tatum and 2 first-round picks with Marcus Smart or something?
I don't think Danny Ainge does that. Danny Ainge is smart enough to get Anthony Davis without gutting his team.
But he's always correct me if I'm wrong, but he always likes Anthony Davis a lot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then you got Kyrie, you got somehow Gordon Hayward, who went the Butler White Wonder who became a stud, and you had Anthony Davis. I could see moving Gordon Hayward. They have 2 first-rounders, I think, project coming up.
Yeah, I could see moving Gordon Hayward, but the problem is Gordon Hayward still isn't healthy. If I'm New Orleans, I don't make that deal because you don't know if Gordon Hayward is ever going to be able to get back to where he was.
I would
think that was a horrific knee injury. That was horrific leg injury.
Kyrie, Gordon Hayward, and I would ship in. I think they have the
Kyrie's a free agent. You wouldn't.
They'll re-sign him, but I think you keep Gordon Hayward and then you give up the 2 first-round picks they have this year and send Tatum. I think that's pretty. I mean, they'll end up with 2 Duke players with those first-round top 8 picks.
Okay, but if you're New Orleans, do you make that trade because Hayward isn't healthy?
No. I say the Celtics keep him. Send Jason Tatum, Marcus Smart, and 2 first-round picks. That will replace it with Zion and another guy you want. And
is that enough for New Orleans?
Yeah, for New Orleans. I mean, you get a guy that'll put asses in seats. Sorry, I didn't know we could swear on this. Zion. I mean, they would get Jason Tatum and Marcus Smart are damn good young guys.
They're not putting butts in seats, though.
Yeah, but Zion will at the number 1 pick.
That's if you get the number 1 pick. There's no guarantee you get it. It could go to Cleveland again.
It could, but they have Sacramento and Memphis. They're both projected top.
The Knicks in the top 3.
No, Sacramento's not there. Sacramento's actually competing for a playoff spot.
Yeah, right. Sacramento's a good team.
What's the top 1 protected? What's the difference?
Say again.
You said the top protected.
Top 1 protected and top 8 protected. What's it? What
That means it can't be a lottery pick.
Okay, we'll throw my point out the window.
Yeah, it can't be a lottery pick. That means it's got to be after 10, I believe.
All right,
when it's protected,
then smart with Jaylen Brown.
And I go back to, is that enough for New Orleans? Does New Orleans make that deal? Because that's not a smart deal for them. See, the deal has to make sense for New Orleans.
I think two first-round picks, wherever they end up, and some young guys like Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum or something could make sense. That and in return, the Celtics would have 3 monsters, and I think Gordon
That fan base would not go for that.
Well,
that fan base wouldn't go for that.
What they don't have? Which one?
New Orleans.
They don't have. I mean, do they have much of a fan base?
Yes, actually, they do. A very passionate fan base.
In what? Yeah, I mean, God bless them that they're loyal. It's gonna be pretty bad for a while.
Exactly. So if I'm ownership there and I have to get rid of Anthony Davis, I got to hit a home run here.
I'm taking 2 young first-round talents.
To me, not for me. I gotta hit a home run, and taking a chance on. Listen, Zion Williamson is great in college. That don't mean he's gonna be good in the NBA. He's only 6'5". Okay, there's a whole lot of guys 6'5" his size that can jump like he can in the NBA right now.
Is he 6'5"? Are you sure?
He's 6. They list him at 6'7", which means he's 6. He's 6'6" at best. Most likely 6'5".
Oh, I didn't know you measured him personally, but
well, the NCAA usually fudges an inch or two. So if they list the guy at 6'7", he's somewhere between 6'5" and 6'6".
But he's an absolute he's the gorilla in there. Like
yes, in college.
Yeah.
In college.
Then then I don't know. Continue. You got me.
That's all good. You know. Listen, gentlemen. I know we went into overtime a little bit. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to shut it down tonight. But I want to thank everybody for calling in. Chandler, as usual, you're always here. Appreciate you, Ryan. Thanks for calling in, buddy. I appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
My man. Don't make it the last time, brother.
I got you.
Also, my man Dominic, my man from Twitter, Dominic. Thanks for being here, brother. People in the chat room, thanks for your support. We always appreciate and love it. We're gonna be back probably tomorrow night. I don't know if we're gonna do the YouTube or we're gonna do the call-in. Me and Matt gonna talk offline about that probably tomorrow and decide. But if it's a call-in, I'm gonna throw out the digits and everything. And if we're gonna come back tomorrow, that'd be great because we got more sports to talk about, more social commentary to talk about as well. Because remember, we're not always sports. You know what I'm saying? Right. We always get live, right, Matt?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Right. Thank y'all all for tuning in with us.
Got to get some controversial people.
That's what I'm talking about. Exactly. So we thrive on that too, brother. So be here for that. All right.
All right.
So basically, your lady standing there behind you, telling you to get off the phone, right?
Yeah. I'm nervous right now. I lost my listen. I'm losing urine over here. Thanks for throwing it out there, Chandler. I can always
tell you, bro. I'm here for you.
Stop giving the dog Brussels sprouts.
Yeah, man. Brussels sprouts? Really?
Yes.
Exactly.
It's healthy.
See, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
For you.
That's why she laid out right now. Got the whole bed, doesn't she?
Exactly. Nah, dude. She in the crate because she farting too much. She can't be in my bed farting like that.
Something's not right with your feeding it when it just starts pissing out of nowhere.
Exactly. All right, y'all. But thanks for tuning in, y'all. Y'all have a great night, all right?
You too. See ya.
Peace out.